And we are live. What is going on? Manuscript, we back.
We
Got
back.
Gabe in the house, Jeff in the house, Scoop in the
Yeah.
house. I know David working. It's been a while. It feels good to see y'all faces on the screen.
Hell yeah.
Man, how's everybody feeling? Everybody good?
Good.
Everybody's good. Go Celtics right now.
Yo, you're a Laker fan. A Laker fan saying that, bro.
Nah, I'm a LeBron fan, but I fuck with the Lakers, of course, yeah. I just don't fuck with the Warriors that much that I'd rather root for the Celtics.
Damn.
That's
Well,
how I
I'm
feel about
biased.
it.
Y'all know who I rock with, so it's hard for me to go from anybody out of the West. But we're gonna get into this game too. We just all finished watching it. We was popping a lot of shit. I was popping a lot of trash. We was going back and forth. I'm gonna say what I'm standing on earlier in the podcast, and we'll just leave it at that. I'm probably gonna be wrong, but I'll stand on it for this, okay? All right. So for game two, we just finished game two. Obviously, the Warriors ended up winning after losing game one, which I think I might have got a little bit too excited about. But I'll start this question off with Gabe. In your opinion, who has the edge now after game two, Celtics or the Warriors?
The Warriors definitely have good momentum right now. Obviously, leading into game three, they just won handedly, so they're probably feeling really good about themselves. I don't know though, man. I really like the Celtics. Like they played like trash tonight. Obviously, way too many fucking turnovers. The supporting cast didn't help. Like if you're three of your starting five players combined for 6 points, or three of the your first 6-man rotation combined for 6 points, three of them, that's crazy, bro. That's not gonna happen again. So I don't know. Like the Warriors have good momentum right now, but I believe in the Celtics. I think that they'll be able to pull off and get the W in game three.
Okay. All right. Jeff, we'll go to you next, man. In your opinion, who do you think has the edge after game two?
There's Warriors, because it doesn't matter where they play. They've shown it through this series. They've shown it through past series. They don't care where they play. It's about a system that they run by, and they really hit on everything that Gabe just talked about. Oh, the supporting cast didn't show up. That's the game plan of the Warriors. They're going to let the stars get whatever the stars are going to get, but they're going to shut down any kind of supporting cast to make sure you got to beat them by yourself. If you can't, then you're on your own. And we saw Grizzlies took them a little bit more of a distance, and I think a lot of that was Ja, and Ja stood up to that challenge, and really he paired really well against Curry and against Clay. It was a really good matchup. And if you watch tonight's game and you watch game one, even when they got behind and right there at the end, the Warriors were still composed. They went through all their meetings and they kind of admitted, hey, we were shell-shocked by it, but we're okay with it. We've been here before. Just time to get back into championship mentality. They went out on the court today. They were composed. They did the same thing. They forced a lot of turnovers, which, as you guys know, I was talking to you guys throughout the whole game. I thought if you watched every single turnover, you were going to see Curry telling somebody, go here, be in this spot. And as he did that, magically a turnover happened every time. So I think a true MVP of our league, he knows the game, he sees the court differently. And I think that's going to give them the leadership that they need going down the stretch, opposed to a Tatum or a Jaylen Brown, who's very inexperienced in this kind of setting.
Okay. I agree with a little bit of both of you guys' parts. I'll do my take last. Scoop, man, same question. Who has the edge to you after game two?
The Warriors. And that is simply because I tweeted this after game one. And I was like, I told people in the beginning it was going to be Warriors in 6 or Warriors in 7. And they were like, you got to choose. And I was like, the Warriors are going to win this series. And after game one, some of our other friends who we went to high school with who are basketball liaisons, as they want to believe, were like, see, bro, you don't know nothing about the game. But like I explained to him, Jason Tatum, the problem with Boston is Boston's not going to let Jason Tatum average 10 points a game. Jason Tatum had 11 points and 15 assists, but Al Horford had 26, Derek White had 21, Marcus Smart had 19. If Jason Tatum scores 30, those dudes don't score points because the ball does not move. Marcus Smart said it himself back in December. We don't pass the ball. And what happens when teams get in the mix like this and shit hits the fan and it gets a little tough, you fall back into your regular ways. So now you're seeing, like, if you watch game 2 over, you'll watch Jason Tatum started out hot, Jaylen Brown started out hot, and then it became, oh, well, nobody else is hitting shots. Instead of getting the rotation going, everybody just started forcing up shots. The third quarter came after halftime. They were tired, forcing up shots, and the Warriors just had the ball moving around. And in any sport, if the ball is moving, no, you can't play defense on the moving ball. It's impossible. Football, if you got a receiver, like think of Tyreek Hill and him outrunning everybody, or this fastest receiver on your team outrunning everybody. If the ball can move, you can't outrun a moving ball. And that's in every single sport. And so as long as the Warriors keep moving the ball, Boston doesn't have a true point guard, the Warriors are going to win the series.
Okay.
They definitely don't have a true point guard. You're right about that.
And I've been talking with Scooter on that a little bit, and I agree with a lot of those points too. So like I said, when I started, I was very like rah, like Celtics in 6 because they got to travel. And nobody else is winning on the road and all that good stuff. So then I had to sit down and calm down, pull up some stats. And the Celtics are 5-4 at home in the playoffs versus some pretty good teams. And
what are those? What's the 4? What's the 4 losses?
I got to go back and double check. But
Bucks
2 of
game,
them against
Milwaukee,
Miami.
It's Milwaukee, Miami, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Milwaukee game 1.
yeah, because they swept the Celtics. I mean, they swept the Nets. So
Yeah.
Milwaukee game 5, and then Miami game 2. Game 3, and Miami game 6.
6. Yeah.
So I was all hoorah rah, thinking that I had this crystal ball where I could see the future. So I actually want to take back all of that after looking at that. I was kind of like, man, what if being at home isn't a universal thing? So I went and pulled the stats, and the Celtics are a better team on the road. They're 8-2 on the road in the playoffs this year. So maybe game 1 wasn't such a surprise. And I was surprised. Go ahead, Jeff.
I missed one other factor, and he's really important. You X'd him out earlier in these same playoffs. Do you guys know who returned to that court tonight with a standing ovation for the Warriors?
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton came back. And that's huge for that team, even though
I'm like shook that he came back.
7th best player. Yes, he is, but he gives that team something that they lack, and that defense is there, and the rebounding that he gives them. So
yeah,
that's huge going forward if he's with them.
And he hit some shots too.
100%. He hustles, man.
He does shots. Yeah. Broke it all and all.
With that being said, I think about the pedigree of which they come from. We all know where Steve Kerr comes from. He's Phil Jackson pedigree. That I love
Phil Jackson
basketball.
And Popovich.
Yeah, and I love that, and both of those coaches. And I love basketball. I love motion basketball. The Warriors play motion offense, unlike the Hardens, the Tatums, the KDs, the Browns, where it's all very ISO ball. So I'm actually a fan of the way that the Warriors play the game. I already said that they have the veteran advantage. So I'm going to have to change my stance. And I know the boys are going to hate me on this, but I think the Warriors have the edge after game 2. Warriors got the edge. So, Gabe, you all by yourself, man, on this one with the Celtics, man.
All I'm going to say is if y'all go back to episode
I'll stand strong.
I told y'all this.
Hey, you can't say nothing about me. I've been strong since day 1 of the season on the Warriors, man.
Hey,
I'll say this though. Jason Tatum got to relax with all the Kobe shit, nigga. Because if he ain't dropping 40 next game with the dub, I'm not trying to hear him say nothing about Kobe no more.
He drops 40, they're gonna lose.
That's the same thing I was saying. That's the same thing I was saying about Booker. Like all these comparisons, bro. Like go win first before we start doing all that, bro.
I understand what they're doing. Like they want to.
It's an emotional thing.
I understand it. Yeah, I understand it 100%. But you gotta for sure hoop. Like, don't go out there and fucking lose, nigga. Like, what we got? What we doing here?
They ain't won that thing. Yeah, they ain't won that.
But he did ball though. I mean,
they hooped.
School might be onto something because Tatum did have 28, and they got cooked.
Hey,
But I
if-
doubt that Marcus Smart, Derek White, and Al Horford each individually have 2 points again.
but the
I
thing
doubt
is
it.
this.
But
The
I
thing
want
is
you guys
this,
to look at this right.
Even if they play a regular game and those dudes play a good game, and say tonight Tatum dropped his 28, and
Yeah.
those dudes all had role player numbers of 11 to 14, they still lose this game.
I don't know,
Who-
man.
who was the worst?
I also don't think Jordan Poole hits a 50-foot three again either.
Okay.
That
also
was a
don't-
momentum
I
changer, bro.
I also don't
Hey.
think Jordan Poole goes crazy like that
But
anymore either.
here's the
Like,
thing,
he
too.
might have
This
one more
hold on.
game in him.
This
Doing that.
and we kind of touched on this on another argument that we were having that we won't get into. But at the end of the day, these dudes are NBA players. They're there. They know what it takes. They actually get there. They're dogs. They know how to fight. Like, we just can't totally discredit the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I think answering the first question, they have a little bit less advantage, just not being the veterans, not being there before, not winning it multiple times, not
I
having
think
a coach
that
comes from
is
the
an
pedigree.
advantage, though. Being ignorant enough to not realize you're not supposed to win. I think that's a good advantage. Like, nobody
Not
thought
always.
in 2015, nobody thought in 2015 the Warriors were going to be LeBron.
But
Not a
put it this
person.
way.
Not a single person thought that. At least
and
not
15
anybody I knew thought
and
that 2015 that
15
they were going to be LeBron.
In 15, if Bron had Kevin Love or not even or Kyrie Irving, one of those
Oh
other
yeah, it's
two,
cooked. Yeah, they win.
it's
They
over.
don't beat
So
them.
like,
Yeah.
it wasn't that the Warriors like came in there and was like, all right, yeah, we got to take this. They came in there with that thought and mindset of, oh man, like, we here in the finals. And then it was like, because think about it, Bron averaged what, 37 a game? Like,
Yeah, he was
bro,
going crazy. Yeah,
like if Steve Kerr never substituted Iguodala for Bogut and ran Mozgov off the court, and they have somebody in there to actually rebound, and Bron didn't have to play the 5, like if Kevin Love would have been in there playing the 5 in the small ball lineup, they cooked the Warriors in 4.
But here's the trivia for you guys tonight. For the Celtics, who was the worst person on the court?
Jason
Tonight?
Tatum.
Just
Jason
Tatum.
Tatum.
He
Okay.
had,
30
he, had, he, had,
points.
he had a minus 36, plus minus to like minus 36 or some shit.
But it's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
So you go look at Miami game 1, he dropped 27. His plus or minus was like minus 32. You go look at Miami game 3 when they lost at home, his plus or minus was like 26, and I think he had 34 that game. I'm telling you, when Jason Tatum scores, it's ball stop offense.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it's not that motion where you're tiring out the defense. Other people are getting in their group because they're touching the ball. Like, just getting a layup, like, it's a good thing for players.
Also, I don't think the Warriors get 40 points in the paint again next game.
But it doesn't matter where they get the points.
They got
because
40 points in the paint because they
know-
hit the same amount of threes, both of them. Both the Celtics and Warriors shot both 40% from 3. I think it was 7 for 13 or some shit that they both shot.
The threes were close. The threes were close because we were looking at it all game.
But if you look at what the Warriors do, you know it's going to take at least 100 to 110 points to beat that team every night. They're going to get 100 to 110 no matter what.
True. Okay.
And when you're inconsistent like that, you don't stand a whole lot of a chance.
Okay. So let's move on to the next question. It's kind of like, we'll talk about a lot of these things that you guys are touching on about inconsistencies and where the points are being scored. In game 2, Gabe had brought up we had seen a lot of turnovers. I think the Celtics ended up with, I think, close to 20 or a little bit over 20 turnovers.
18.
18. So what do you guys think it was a bigger factor in this game? The Celtics turnovers or the Warriors having that huge third quarter where they just opened it up offensively? We'll start with Jeff.
I don't think you can attribute that to a specific stat. I think that's a player. I still think that was the Curry effect. And both of those played into that. Why did they have a big third quarter? Curry. Why did they get so many of those turnovers? Curry. I think that's still a leadership.
And when you bring up this Curry effect, explain to the people that listen that might not understand what you're saying by the Curry effect, because you're not going to see it on the stat sheet. So
no,
what are you talking about?
Absolutely, especially if you watch what Curry did with Kayvon Looney here in tonight's game. He said, "Go stand here." And if you watch as they set up on defense, Curry ran that as almost like a quarterback of that team, or the point guard really showed in him. He saw that court differently. He told Thompson, he told Looney, he told everybody, you're going to stand here. And if you watch that, wherever he put them, bam, a turnover happened. And really, they always look shocked too, like, oh shit, I got the ball. And that's that Curry effect. Just like when LeBron's in the finals, he points, he demands that attention, and he knows where to go. Curry does that same thing. He's showing that he's a leader of this game. And I don't think that's a stat you can show. So when you say, was it the turnovers, the 18 of them? If you look at probably at least 15 of those, it was directed by Curry. Or was it that big third quarter? It wasn't just a big third quarter. How did they start? Throwing up threes. And that kind of started with Curry as they opened up that third quarter. So I don't think that's a stat. I think that's a player that showed up.
Okay. All right. Same question to you, Scoot. Celtics turnovers or the Warriors big third quarter? Which was the biggest X factor?
I agree with Jeff in a sense where like Steph Curry's understanding of the game of what Boston was doing, but the turnovers, like if Boston turns the ball over half of that, and the Warriors, because I think the Warriors got like 5 threes off 19 of those turnovers. So take away the 5 threes that they don't hit, you're looking at a 7 to 10 point game. Yeah, going down to the stretch. And another thing is that same thing used to happen. Like I feel like what we're watching right now is what we used to watch with the Houston Rockets and the Warriors. With Jason Tatum is looking just like James Harden right now. Like let's freeze the game, put the ball in Tatum's hands, let him dribble, spin, post up, and then bring the double team late. And when we bring the double team late, we're bringing it from the weak side paint. And so therefore, he's going to have the belief that weak side three's open, but I'm sitting in between the wing and the weak side three. So when he throws it, whoever is right there, stay there because the balls will come right to you. And I was like, man, like, and that's what it is. I think it's a defensive prowess as a coach where you like for me, when I used to play football, I used to love watching film because like you get to a point where you understand film and you start to key in on what the other team is going to do every single time. And so once you truly understand, like, okay, if they're forcing Tatum the ball, this is literally this. They only run 4 sets out of this. So if we are in the zone, this is where this play will go. If we're in man-to-man, it's going to go here. And so, like Jeff said, like it's the Curry effect. But I think that those turnovers, like you turn the ball over 19 times, and the other team turns the ball over 8. It's just you can't win the game.
And I'm going to add to that exactly what Scoot's saying. He's like, well, you can't expect this to happen again. You also can't expect the Warriors to miss point-blank layups, 8 to 10 of them in the game either. So you add that back on, that game could have been an even bigger blowout by the time they got to the third.
All right, Gabe, man. Same question, man. What was the bigger factor to you, the Celtics turnovers or the Warriors big third quarter?
Turnovers for sure. I'm rewatching. I was rewatching the highlights right now. I'm rewatching the third quarter as y'all talking right now, and it's they play so fucking sloppy. It's crazy. One of them would drive, get stripped, try to act as if they're trying to get the
Not
foul.
Get back.
The Warriors are gone.
Gone.
By the time that they throw their arms up, nigga, you got 2 Warriors down the court already. Like the Warriors played as if they needed to win the game. It's because they needed to. They played with that, you know what I'm saying, that desperate feeling because they needed to win this game. Like they could not lose this game. Like they lose this game, the series is potentially over. Right? So they just played with a more, you know what I'm saying? They were more passionate. They wanted it more. You could tell the Celtics were, well, everybody's hurt at this point. So I can't even give them that. Like you can't even say, oh, the Celtics are beat up because everybody's beat up. Yeah. But you could tell that they're fatigued. Like the group chat, all you niggas kept saying, such and such is tired. Oh, they tired. They tired. And I'm looking over here, and they got Al Horford, who just turned 36. He's out here trying to guard Steph Curry.
Bro, he got
like,
cooked.
bro, what is going on? Like, how
that's a bad move?
And they keep switching. Like, and Gary Payton before the game was talking about how he would switch things up for Golden State defensively type thing. And he was like, I'm gonna just have everybody play man. Like, fuck this switching shit. Like, everybody just man up. And you know what I'm saying? You got to own your responsibility.
You don't. Yeah.
And it's like, the Boston might have to listen to that because it's like you can't let Al Horford switch on a Steph Curry. Like, what are you thinking? That's an automatic, especially Because all you know is they're running high pick and roll with Steph every time he comes down the
Every
court.
time.
Like that fucking three that he hit from the Chase Center logo. What's I don't know who it was. I think it was GP. GP came up to the logo, got the screen, Steph one step in, knocked that bitch down. And that's happened, and it happened multiple times in a game. It's like, bro, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They obviously figured it out game one, right? Like they
Yeah.
figured it out game one. Because the Warriors were kicking their ass third quarter,
Nah,
same way.
if you go
They
back,
obviously weren't up 20, but they were up double-digit points in the
you
third.
go back and watch game one. The Warriors did what teams do against them to Boston. Like if you really watch teams most of the time, when the Warriors start hitting threes, instead of them going for twos, they try to hit threes. And if you watch game one in the fourth quarter, like Boston was hitting threes, and the Warriors would be on a fast break and then like pull up and shoot a three. And I'm like, bro, you need to get in rhythm. Just go for two.
Yeah.
That's why I think they had so many points in the paint tonight, because they had 40 points in the paint. The Celtics had if I'm not mistaken, it was 18 points in the paint or something like that. Let me double check.
I'm gonna let Jordan give his take, and then I'm gonna add to what we were talking about.
All right. So the way it's looking right now, it's looking like Jeff is the only one that's kind of said neither, and we all picked one. I'm gonna roll with the turnovers because the Celtics started off so hot again. Just came out, smacked them in the mouth. JB was going crazy. They had the momentum, and when you turn the ball over, they did so many turnovers. Most of the turnovers came in the first half. When you give the ball up so much, you lose so much of that momentum that they had. And to me, that's the biggest X factor in the game because they came out hot. They had it, and then they lost it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with the turnovers on that one. The Warriors third quarter was nothing like that's nothing new to me. That's what Warriors do. That was like Warriors basketball to me.
They're always
You
a
know
third quarter team. Yeah, like
that's Warriors basketball. They were on point.
They do.
And you can't help them. You can't give them more opportunities than you. So I'm gonna roll with the turnovers. Go ahead, Jeff. Add what you wanted to.
My thing is when we start looking at all that and we try to compare, is it because of what happened in game one or happened in game two? If we go back to game one, Warriors, when you end that third quarter, everybody thought this game is over at the end of that third quarter.
Oh yeah, I stopped watching.
Yeah, exactly. So that happened, but Boston had literally they called it a miracle comeback. That's what they called it.
Man,
in game
these leads are so fickle now.
No,
I've seen so many people blow leads. It's so common to blow leads now. I feel like in the NBA.
Who would have said, Al Horford and Derek White are going to score almost 40 points in a quarter and they're going to have a miracle comeback? It's not going to happen. So that happens one time. Yeah, but you start looking at that. That's not going to happen all the time. So
but those are
game one and two look very similar.
Three players that only had 2 points tonight. They're the same three players that only had 2 points tonight. So it's obvious they obviously need them to step up. You can't have fucking 2 points, bro, and think you're about to impact the game.
But again, remember what I told you on our first topic. Shut down the role players.
I feel like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Any of us four right here could get at least one bucket.
Oh, done.
In the league, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
100%.
lie, nigga. I could for sure get one bucket, my nigga. Draw the foul, hitting two free throws. Bang,
I'm gonna
bang,
be
right
honest.
there. 2
Hey,
points.
Jeff's been hooping, man.
No, I can't hit a hoop in a pickup game with us. Okay, so no, I can't.
Bro. I'm getting one bucket, my nigga. I'm sorry. I don't care. All 5'8" of me, nigga. Nigga.
No,
there's only one person I'm getting a bucket on in the NBA, and that's Tyler Hero, because that man is garbage. Look at Jeff's face.
Yo.
I'm done.
That nigga said, hey, yo, Jeff, do this shit, yeah. Yo.
Nice.
Tyler Hero can't guard me, dog.
He said Tyler Hero. No.
All right, so let's move on to the next question since we kind of led into it, which we always do. That's the great thing about how we roll, man. So I'll start this one off with Scoot this time. Role players. That's what we were kind of talking about there. Role players. Tyler Hero. Are they going to play better at home? Do you think role players play better at home?
Oh yeah.
I mean, no. At this point, any team that's left at this point, I think it's very, very minute change. Like, I mean, like you do, like in
Boston
early
Garden.
but still,
that's different, bro.
like it's different. But like you're in the finals. Like I don't see these cats. Like teams don't make it to the finals because their best player is like all worldly, unless you the 2015 fucking Cleveland Cavaliers. But J.R. Smith still would like people don't give J.R. Smith the credit he deserves. Like J.R. was one of my favorite players, so I always gotta give him his props. But no, like the teams left here, I don't think it's a difference. Now, like in the first rounds of the playoffs, I agree with it. Like, you know, no shots at the Suns, but the Pelican players was balling at home, and then they go on the road and get decimated because like you got these dudes who ain't never been there. The players they playing with ain't never been there. Like they coaches ain't never been there. The game plan is just totally off. When you get to the finals, whoever's left, like these players, they're star players. Like these guys, it's a unit. So to say you're at the finals, you probably more than likely won majority of your away games during the season. You won at least an away game during the playoffs and every series. So at this point, it's just like, yo, like here we go. We just got to pull up and play again. I mean, think about it. Like Al Horford led the team in scoring in game one.
Yeah.
That was on the road. Like,
that won't happen again.
We all know that's not happening again.
But like
did the role players play better to you today for Golden State?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Jordan Poole wasn't even there in game one. What are you talking about?
But still, think about it. Like Jordan Poole, other than those, like he hit those. Like if you watch Jordan Poole in the first half, bro was getting his shit pinned off the backboard like he didn't know how to play basketball. I was like, bro, pump fake.
He turned it up in the second half, though.
Yeah, well, that third quarter, he had 3 straight threes, and then that half court one. But even then, it was just like, you know, those things happen. Like those things are going to happen. I wouldn't say it's a testament of playing at home and playing better, because if that was the case, Boston's like Derek White and Al Horford and Marcus Smart shouldn't have went off in the fourth quarter for 37 points to beat the Warriors. And so I don't think it really, at this point, I don't think it makes a difference. Like early in the playoffs, it does, but at this point, I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay, got you. Okay, what you think, man? You think role players play better at home in the NBA championship? You think they'll play a major factor from this point on?
Yeah, I think they play better because I don't think they're scared of the Warriors. You know, I genuinely don't think that they are afraid of Golden State. They already beat them once at the crib. You know, so now it's literally the ball is in their court. If they're able to defend home court and get these two,
they have the home court
Golden
advantage
State
now.
up. Yeah, like they go back to Golden State up 3-1. You know what I'm saying? If they're able to get these two, so I feel like and Ime don't seem like no punk. He gonna be on their ass. I don't see that how they play. I don't see them playing this shitty again. The rest of the series, bro. And they've beaten way too good of teams to get here. Like you think about the players that they went through just to get to where they're at right now. Bro, they beat KD and Kyrie, swept them, got them out of here. Giannis, even though Chris Middleton got hurt, Giannis got him out of here. Holiday got him out of here. And then the Heat just really had Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they got the Heat out of here. they had Tyler Hero for game 7, but you know, obviously.
Look, I'm mad at Tyler Hero right now, bro. I'm mad at Tyler. This is why I'm mad at Tyler Hero right now. It has nothing to do with basketball. All right? I get off from work and wifey's like, Tyler Hero cheated on his girlfriend. How could somebody cheat on their girlfriend? I'm like, man, you make my girlfriend bad, bro. Fuck Tyler Hero, bro.
Damn, Tyler Hero.
You made wifey bad, bro. We get you Tyler
Hero.
Hero.
Losing the ECF and cheating
bro,
on your girl.
Down there. Bro, he down there in Miami, bro. He hooping too.
He wildin'.
He in Miami, of course he cheated.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. The role players, the role players play better at home?
All right. Do they play
Jeff
better at
biased,
home?
though. He's going to be like, no, it don't matter. The Warriors are all right. They're going to win.
All right, cool. I'm glad you know what's up. So since you said it, Gabe, I'm going to hit every point you said, but I'm going to start this off. Jordan, can you tell me what is the Celtics home and away record again for postseason?
Home is 5-4, away is 8-2.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Warriors got multiple people you can name and have put up every game. their role players are a lot more solid than an every once in a while Derek White and every once in a while Al Horford. And who else they got?
Marcus Smart. Oh,
Oh,
Peyton Pritchard.
Marcus Smart,
you're-
Peyton Pritchard, Grant
you're talking about
Williams.
people that
Derek
show up
White
every
is
once
their
in a while.
best man off the bench, man.
Yeah, you guys all name people that can disappear at the drop of a hat. These Warriors people are people you're talking about. Oh, they're going to get a contract after they leave these Warriors team. They've been appearing every time. That's why you guys also didn't think the
It's
Warriors were going to
easy
be
to
that
play
good.
when you have the best shooters of all time on your team.
Like, well, thank you. The Curry effect. You helped me
No,
out
I
here.
said
dude.
no shooters of all
Okay.
time.
Yeah, but
Steph
one
Curry
of them.
and Clay. Steph Curry and Clay Thompson.
Nah,
But Clay doesn't even need to be there right now. He
I
doesn't
love you
have
guys.
to be.
I love you
We
guys
see,
so
but
much.
hold on, but we saw what happened to the Warriors when Clay's not there. So he
Oh
does need
my
to be there.
goodness.
He wasn't there
You
today.
guys, bro.
He does need to be there.
He wasn't there
Clay does
today.
need to be there. He hit. I'm literally watching the third quarter now. This fool is going off the screens, knocking down threes. Okay,
But
No,
they
they
left
need
him
him.
in the fourth because he wasn't there.
he
But
said
everybody
Because he
else
was
is gonna-
breaking a lot, so they got to see some shot. He got to see some shots going
He
and
gotta
get his
see it go
confidence back
in.
up.
But you're proving my
Okay.
point. He was a detriment at first. He was missing so many shots.
We're gonna skip that last question. We're gonna get right into it because we're into it right now. The next question was, how do you guys feel about Clay? So go ahead, Jeff. How you feel about Clay, man? Talk. What's going on?
I love Clay. He didn't show up tonight. He knew he didn't show up tonight. The coach knew he didn't show up, so he got extra minutes in the fourth. But I love Clay. I think he's going to be just fine. We've seen through the whole playoffs, he's been there for him. He kind of let him down a little bit defensively early in this game, and then people told him where to be, and he stepped right back up. So I think he'll be fine. I love Clay. I think he'll be a long-time Warrior still. I don't think he's going to get that giant contract he could have gotten 2 or 3 years ago, but
Nah,
still
no
love-
way.
I love Clay. It's just Clay is not the Clay he was 3 years ago, but he'll still give you the same stats, just might not have the same energy. As the Splash Brothers are dead. It's Curry, and he's taking over.
Okay, Gabe, how you feel about Clay right now?
Clay is still obviously working his way back to himself. Like you're gone for 2+ years.
Yeah.
Not playing, you know what I'm saying, not playing any basketball, having to play by yourself, do drills, whatever.
2K.
And now he's thrown back into the fire for real. And having to work himself into shape while also playing in the playoffs, in critical games in the finals. Like he was 1 for 8 from 3 tonight. You know what I'm saying? But like the 3 that he hit in the third was pivotal to put them up double-digit points. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I think that's probably why Kerr left him in, so he could keep shooting and keep getting his confidence, because there's nights that Curry is off. You know what I'm saying? Like they rely on their threes to fall. And if they're not falling, you know what I'm saying, you got to hope the others pick it up, which they did tonight. Otto Porter was hitting shots. Gary Payton was doing what he needed to do. Andrew Wiggins was balling. Draymond got him his fair share. Jordan Poole went crazy.
You
know
care
what
how
I'm
many
saying?
role
Like,
players you just mentioned?
They play better at home.
they're
huh,
all,
Jeff?
yeah, exactly. They're at the crib. Like, what
Hey,
you talking
get
about?
back
They
with
had
me-
that. Did
get
you
back
hear
with
that?
me in a
Did you
few
hear
days,
that?
man.
Did you hear that crowd, bro? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
place-
Like,
that pop
and
was
then I'm
crazy.
watching, and then I'm watching it right now. It's 62-71 with 3 minutes left in the third. Like the game is still a game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but it was
there are a few, but
It was
they
over by
keep
then.
turning the fucking ball. They keep turning the ball over.
turnovers are crazy.
Keep turning the ball over and giving these niggas more points. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's like,
All
what
right,
are we
Scoop,
doing?
How you feel about Clay?
Honestly, like one thing
Draymond
that
playing football out here.
I think
Those
people
niggas crazy.
forget like Klay Thompson as Klay Thompson. I think people remember his 62 on 11 dribbles, his 39 in the quarter, his 14 threes. Like I think people think of those like astronomical games he's had, but I think people forget like outside of those games, he really only averaged like 16 points a game.
I just watched Al Horford have one-on-one with Stephen Curry in the paint, and this nigga passed the. He
Turned
tried
it
to
over,
pass the
bro.
ball.
Passed it.
Cook.
Hey,
And
don't
he
forget.
turned the ball over. Yo.
Don't forget.
Oh my god.
Who guarded LeBron most of the playoffs against the Warriors? It was Curry.
No, it was not,
it was
nigga.
Yes,
It
Klay.
was fucking.
No,
it was
wasn't.
Andre
Go-
Iguodala. Oh, so Curry's the
Go
reason
what?
Brian had 40 a game. So Curry's the reason Brian had 40 a game.
Look at where
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
you
those
want to
came.
say that, bro, because look at
Come back in
LeBron's
there.
averages against the Warriors, dog. This
Hey,
nigga averaged
I'm saying, though,
35
but-
plus points a game against the Warriors, dog.
Curry was on LeBron a lot.
40 of them
Switches,
things.
that's it.
All right,
Go back
He
to
gonna
him.
get cooked every
Listen,
time.
back
All right,
to my
go ahead.
back to my Clay thing. Like Clay was legitimately the Warriors. Like he's always been there. Like their diamond in the rough, their facade. Like hopefully he hits some shots early so teams pay attention to him, because then Steph's gonna get open to go off, and then we'll get these other guys involved because now we can move the ball around and we got two people being focused on. And so I think everybody's waiting for Klay Thompson to go off for like one of those 36 to 40-point games. And I'm like, bro, like he's always only giving them 15 to 20 points.
He had 40 the last series, I think, or
Hey,
some shit like that.
time out real quick. Did I just see Gabe double fisting Mountain Dew and Ciroc?
Yeah, I'd take a shot at
you
the
know-
Rock. Very special.
I've
I've been drinking this whole time.
One.
That also leads me to another thing with Clay, where it's like Boston has to always be ready, because at any given point he can get hot. And like that game when he dropped those
That's
14
what I'm
threes against the
saying,
Bulls,
bro. He can get hot
did it
anytime.
He did it in 3 quarters. The 62 on 11 dribbles against the Pacers, 3 quarters, 39 in the third quarter against the Kings. Like at any given point, Klay Thompson could go zero for 10
crazy.
and hit his next 10 shots. And
That's
so it's
what
like
I'm
one of those
saying.
things where like he's like the greatest secret weapon to have, because you always have to be worried about him going off. And like if he hits 1 shot or 2 shots in a row, it totally destroys your defensive game plan, because now you gotta watch him too. And see, like before it was like we gotta watch him, we gotta watch Steph. Iguodala might go off in the pass. Who else they had in the past that might score some points? But I'm like,
Draymond. It used to be Draymond too.
and
Yeah, it used to be.
what's the old boy that
Sean-
like
Sean Livingston.
Sean
and fucking,
Livingston.
Sean Livingston.
You know, them niggas.
Jordan
like-
Poole just took Sean Livingston's spot. That's
now
all
you
that happened.
got Jordan Poole, who like if both those two get shut down, he will go off. And man, like I put in the chat earlier, like Andrew Wiggins is legitimately showing us that he was worth the number 1 pick. Like Andrew Wiggins is balling out right now, and ain't nobody talking about that.
No, he's defense all the way.
Yeah,
too.
he-
Somebody was
He
talking about
challenged
him
him.
potentially. Somebody was talking about Wiggins potentially winning the MVP. And I'm like, there ain't no way.
Nah,
No.
he's
They're
too
not gonna do-
intermittent,
they're
bro.
not- They're not gonna do that.
Sometimes
to
he's
Curry
there,
again.
sometimes he's there, and then sometimes he's not there. He's just he's too hit or miss.
And it was Otto Porter that came up and set that high screen for that long ass 3, and then fucking Grant Williams or
it
Daniel
was
Tyson's
Daniel Tice.
dumbass. Daniel Tyson's dumbass didn't step up. That nigga fucking acted like Curry was gonna drive to the basket. Like,
He
nigga,
dropped
are you
back.
kidding me? Oh my god.
All right.
No,
See, that's why I'm like, I don't think this is gonna happen again, because it's like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like,
But the thing
Marcus
is-
Smart literally in game 1 was like, yo, you cannot play off these niggas. You
But
need
the
to
thing
play
is,
up every
if Mark-
time.
if Daniel Tice steps up on that, Steph Curry's gonna blow past him and it's a wide open layup. So there's nothing
I'd rather
you can
take
do.
I'd rather take
2
the
over
2 than the
3.
3.
Okay,
I'd rather
check
take the
this
2
out.
over 3.
I'm gonna give my little take on role players do play better at home. Yeah, and then Clay. I'm rooting for Clay, being a guy that loves basketball so much and going through my own issues with my body. It's super disheartening to like try to have to come back and be yourself and play a certain role that you played like your whole life. Like Clay has been the man. So I'm rooting for him because I want to see him to be able to overcome that, because I know that he's in his own head, bro. I know
Bro, they
he
act
is,
like he
dude.
didn't have 2 career-ending injuries back to back.
Right, exactly.
I
An
know.
ACL and then an Achilles. Those are 2
So I
injuries that
know.
can get you out of here.
I know from
You
just
know
my
what I'm saying?
personal experience, like
On the same leg,
when
too.
to put
Same
the
leg.
gas, when to not push the gas, when to make this certain type of cut. Should I do this? Should I do that? And so he's not just thinking about shooting the ball no more. Now he's thinking about how he should move his body, and everything's changing for him. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he can get back to, making some great plays. When he hit that 1-3, bro, he was so happy, dog. He was like, shit reminds me
Clay?
of me, bro. I'm old.
Yeah, Clay, he was like, finally.
He was like, like, yeah. And I was so happy to see. And it reminded me of me because, like, I'm old and I don't be doing nothing anymore. And then when I do, I'll be like deep down inside, I'm like, let's go. So I'm rooting for Clay, man. But all in all, I think we're enjoying this series. I think it's probably, none of us really picked this series in the beginning of the year, but I think we're all pretty happy with the way that it's playing out. It's a very good series. The first two games,
no, in the
exciting.
summertime, I said Lakers and Nets.
Man, we was all
No,
I said Celtics.
Everybody
all
thought the
playoffs.
Lakers and Nets was
No,
good.
We were writing the Celtics off.
No,
I
Hell
said Celtics
yeah.
weren't making
I was
playoffs.
not. I remember this. It's on episode 5. I said I would not be surprised if it came down to the Warriors and the Celtics because Jay was like, "Nah, Clay come back, he gonna throw everything off." And then Jeff was like,
I thought he did, bro. So
Jeff was like,
I
the
didn't
Celtics
expect
don't even have a point guard, and they at that time the Celtics were like
Jordan Poole shut me up
5 and
because
12.
I was not expecting him to be who he is, bro. Like Jordan Poole he legit. I did not expect that at all.
That boy cold.
And you just said Klay Thompson, and then you referred to yourself as being old and how you feel. Klay feels that same way. We're the same age. He's 32.
Oh, he is? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're the same age.
That goes back to when we're playing Madden 2K and we go, damn, I don't want this dude. He's old. And then I look at myself and I go, fuck, I'm the same age.
Yeah, but when you add up all those miles, man, once you hit 30, and he mind
Is
you,
Clay 32? Clay not 32.
I didn't
Clay
know
is
that.
32 years old. Just Googled it.
Damn.
Dang.
So yeah, he ain't never gonna be the same, bro. That's just how the body works. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Real quick before we get out of here, we already been on an hour. It's been a while since we got back together. Just real quick, we halfway through the year of 2022. A lot of ups and downs for all of us. Just what are you guys looking forward to for the rest of the year, the second half of the year? Jeff, go ahead. You start it off, man.
All right. Since before I didn't announce this during our last episode, so everybody pretty much knows now. So what am I looking forward to the rest of the year? Got an amazing career that I just started. Also got a baby girl on the way. So got a big year ahead and a lot of things I'm looking forward to, different mindset, how I'm looking at things, how I'm going forward, a lot of positives, and want to make sure that baby girl comes in with that positive mindset. So a lot of things.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Gabe, man, what you looking forward to the rest of the year?
Man. Got a birthday coming up. Got my son's birthday coming up.
Hey, summer boys.
got football back around the corner.
Can't wait.
You know what I'm saying? Basketball about to end and then be right back around the corner. So that's pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm coming home to go to that UFC fight next month. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to go to some games, bro. I'm excited for, growth within the workplace, everything. I'm excited for the pod. I'm excited for us to get, hopefully hit 1,000 subscribers or some shit on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get somebody on here. We're going to have to get somebody on here.
Yeah. We got to get a guest. We got to start getting more.
Chop it up. Yeah, we got to chop it up
guests
with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm just excited for us. You know what I'm saying? Our future, bro. That's really it.
A media manager to take care of us on TikTok and YouTube and everywhere else.
Oh, God. Something.
Scoot, what you looking forward to, man, for the rest of the year?
Just solace, man. Beginning of this year it's been rocky to say the least. But I remember when I was younger, like I read a thing the other day and it was like, you used to pray to have this life, and now that you have it, it doesn't add up to what you thought it would be, but you're there. So now you got to make the best of it. And I was like, man, that hit me home because we all grow up and we all had these dreams and goals, and then it's just like sometimes they're almost so unrealistic that we think like it'll never happen. And then when you start living in it and like everything ain't the rainbows and the pot of gold that you thought it was going to be, like you just, it mentally wears on you. Like, it's just like, and you go through these ups and downs of wanting to give up and feeling like you just drowning. But then like, you got to remember you built the boat to get here, and it might have a little hole, but you patch it up and you just keep going. And so just the past month and a half, I just been really focused on, just grounding myself and understanding like, this is what I used to want out of life. This is what I wanted to do. God gave me what I prayed for, and it wasn't it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Control what you can control.
The best of it. Yeah.
So, I feel you, brother. For me, man, everything's been going on. Just watching everybody from a distance, and everything's been going on in the world. Just looking forward to just trying to be positive light in people's lives, man. I caught myself like not counting, but questioning my blessings. Like, everything's going on in my own head. I was like, dude, why does it seem like everything always going my way and everybody else is going through shit? And it just made me think like something, bad is going to happen to me pretty soon because I just can't keep riding this high for so long. But I just sat down. Yeah, I sat down, opened up the good book, read some stuff. And, man, I just think I'm just hope for the rest of the year. I just hope you continue to bless me with opportunities to just be in people's lives, man. That's all that we can do because we never know when it's going to be or a day when it's over. So got my son on the way and whole new challenge, man, whole new mindset because, you got your little girl. She can have whatever you want, whatever she wants, that's your little girl. But now I got a little boy. Now I got to the pressure's on me to make him a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Gabe knows, you know what I'm saying? Like it's up to me now to make this dude a better person for this world. So
we need better men.
Scary thought,
There's a lot of trash dudes out there. So we need better men in the world too.
Yeah, man. Scary thought.
It's important.
But yeah, man. Let's
I got to make sure mine isn't an Amber Heard, right? Can't be no Amber Heard.
Yeah, none of those, man.
Jeff.
I can't believe I didn't know what that was, bro. I was like, what are y'all
hilarious, Jeff. You are so stupid, bro.
My girl cannot be sitting on her man's bed later on in life.
Yo. Crazy.
I can't believe I was at the loop on that, bro.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe I was at the loop on that, bro.
Before we get off, of course Tank was gonna knock out Rolly Romero. And of course, Devin Haney was going to whoop George Kambosos' ass. I don't know why people are so surprised with this. Of course, that was going to happen. I wish David was here so we could go into. Oh man,
yeah, man.
Devin Haney rep Vegas. That nigga live out there, so you know what I'm saying. We got the undisputed coming to the crib. We got undisputed belts in the city, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what we need. That's what the Raiders need. So then he could bring the undisputed belt, and then we could bring the chip. We could bring the SB. And then when we get an NBA team, you know what I'm saying, they can get the finals and all that shit. And then the Athletics can win something, you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes.
Raiders are looking nice as we come up on football season. I'm just going to throw it out
football
there.
Coming up. We'll get into football here.
Nice.
Football is coming
football
up,
here
bro.
pretty soon for sure. We'll get to it. But for y'all that
we're going to have to recap our fantasy draft, too.
Yeah, we got to go.
We're going to have to recap the dynasty draft.
We don't.
We got a lot of ideas, bro. We got a lot of ideas, so. Like Scoot's idea, man. Let's just try to pile up as much content we can, and we'll get through and push stuff out. So you guys are tuning in. This one should probably be up pretty quick, but just stay locked in. We're gonna push out a lot of stuff pretty soon, man. Manuscript, we out.
Join us on Madden.
Love y'all later.